The Dallas Mavericks just continue to have a better and better offseason. First off, they won the draft, in my opinion, at least at a value standpoint. Of course, they didn't hold any top 10 picks or anything, but from a value standpoint, they definitely were one of the winners of the draft. And then they go out and they make all the right moves in free agency. They bring in Derek Lively, Olivier Maxence Prosper, Max Prosper, however you want to say his name. Rashawn Holmes, he comes in via the draft, via a trade with the Sacramento Kings. He's going to be a rotation piece this year. They get off of the Davis Bertans contract, and they re-sign Kyrie, as well as signing a few free agents, which we're about to talk about. So make sure you stick around for the full video, because we're going to be talking all about the Dallas Mavericks today and their chances next year. Hit the like button, leave me a comment down below, and let's go ahead and get started. But first, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because about a good bunch of you are subscribed to the channel, and it would mean a lot to me if you could hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell. Now let's go ahead and get started looking at the big moves made by the Dallas Mavericks, and it starts off with Seth Curry on a bargain of a deal. 2 years, $9 million. I mean, you see the jersey swap right there. You love it. 9.2 points a game, 1.6 assists, and 1.6 rebounds last year in Brooklyn. Another jersey swap. I mean, on top of my game today. But in Brooklyn, he was a really good piece around KD, around Kyrie, around James Harden. He's going to be the same thing here in Dallas around Luka Doncic. I mean, you see the shooting splits here, the efficiency. His last name's Curry. He's going to be able to knock down the three ball. And then you got Grant Williams, 4-year, $53 million deal. I believe, is that last year a team option? I'm not sure. But 8.1 points per game, 4.6 rebounds, 1.7 assists. Grant Williams was a really, really good role player last year in Boston, and he's going to be a really, really good role player this year in Dallas. Around Kyrie, around Luka. They bring in two guys that shoot at 40% from three, 26 minutes per game last year for Grant Williams. He also shot at 45% from the field. So Grant Williams is going to be a really big piece. They also send away Reggie Bullock as a part of that trade. And then yesterday it was announced that they brought in Derek Jones Jr. on, I believe, a one-year contract. Correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's another rotational 3-and-D piece, mostly defensive piece that they're going to really, really enjoy having this year. So now let's talk about the draft, where they traded pick 10 all the way back to pick 12, a real long way there. And they get off the contract of Davis Bertans, but they go out and they get their guy, Derek Lively. I think this is a home run pick here for a few reasons. At Duke, he was good. Really good rim protector, great paint presence, as you see here. Just watch these highlights, and you'll see what I mean. I believe he's 7'1", probably can touch the rim without jumping, 7'1" or 7'2", but he was just really unfair. In college, it was essentially impossible to get a shot off over him. He's, in my opinion, should be a day one starter. However, Mavs fans don't seem to agree with me, and Jason Kidd doesn't like to play the rookies. But they, one, get off of a bad contract, and two, they get their guy. That's a win-win-win, in my opinion, because you also free up cap space to sign guys like Seth Curry, Grant Williams. Could have had Matisse Thybulle, would have been perfect. But that is a home run pick right there in Derek Lively, filling their biggest need from last year's team, which is a Clint Capella type, lob threat, clearing the glass. He's going to be really good for him. And like I said, they get off of Davis Bertans, and they bring in Rashawn Holmes with the Max Prosper pick here at 24, trading back into the first round. I mean, that's just a great deal there. They get a decent paint presence with Rashawn Holmes, who, in my opinion, should be a rotation piece for them this year. Yes, it's a bad contract, 2 years, $24 million. Honestly, with the cap space going up every year, it's not that bad of a contract. Definitely a rotational piece here for Dallas next year if they want him to be. In my opinion, the big man rotation should be Lively and then probably Rashawn Holmes, but Dwight Powell will somehow end up being the starter. Max Prosper is the perfect guy around Luka and Kyrie, and it really is that simple. One of the best defenders in this draft class, 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan, so he's got all the natural gifts in the world. Just another guy that they're going to bring in. You see the theme. They went out and they absolutely cooked this offseason. Now, he does have offensive potential as well. He's got a little bit of a three-point jumper right now. Not the greatest in the world, but definitely not the worst either. So something to develop there. He's going to be a rotation piece as a rookie as well. They get 2 rotation pieces in the draft, trade for another one, and then they go out and sign 2 or 3 more. For a team that was lacking a lot of depth, this is a team now that suddenly has a whole lot of depth. And they're going to run it back with their stars, with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. We'll start with Kyrie because he was the one that got a big-time contract. Essentially got the max. Wasn't quite the max. It was like 3 years, 126, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm a little wrong, though. That seems a little bit high. We'll see, though. Kyrie, I don't know. 27 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. He sure didn't look good alongside of Luka Doncic last year, but you can't jump to assumptions based off of that first year. You got to let it play out a little bit. I mean, we're talking about a mid-season trade. You can't expect that to click automatically. 51% from the field, 39% from three. There's one thing we do know, and it is that Kyrie is one of the best scoring guards in the NBA, no matter what kind of headache he brings off the court. And then you got this man right here, potentially the best scorer in the NBA. Averages about 33 points a game and 8.4 rebounds, which is just absurd if you think about it. If you sit there for a second and think about it. Also 8 assists a game, 1.4 steals. Luka Doncic is on another level than the rest of the NBA right now. It's just too effortless for him to go out there and drop 30. 50% from the field, 34% from three as well. Now, as for their number 3 option, I think that is still a little bit up in the air. Tim Hardaway Jr. right now has the inside track at that. He is still on a bit of a lengthy contract at 2 years, $34 million, but not terrible. Like I said, with the cap space going up every single year. 14.5 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists for Tim Hardaway Jr. So a guy that, when he's hot, can definitely carry an offense. However, he's not the hottest all the time. 40% from the field, 39% from three in 30 minutes. Another guy that can shoot the 3 ball. He's going to be another good rotation piece for this Mavericks team. Now, a couple of other guys that they are still developing here, a couple of other young wings with Jaden Hardy and Josh Green. Josh Green, a guy last year that, he played very well in his limited minutes. 9 points a game, 3 rebounds, 1.7 assists. He's another guy that alongside Luka, alongside Kyrie, playing really, really good defense. I think he's going to be a guy that thrives in this system. You see the efficiency there off the charts. They've got so many guys that can absolutely knock down the 3 ball at a very, very good clip. And then you also got Jaden Hardy, who last year as a rookie averaged 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1.4 assists. Now, I mean, those might not jump off the charts at you as like Rookie of the Year type numbers, but they're a little better than you may think. Coming from that G League Ignite program, he shot at 45% from the field and 41% from three in 15 minutes and is going to be a good rotation piece for this Mavs team. Now let's take a look at the lineups. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving will be the starting backcourt. I mean, there's essentially nothing to argue there. That is set in stone. I feel like Grant Williams is locked in there to that starting power forward spot, but then you could go a lot of ways with the number 3 and the number 5 in this lineup. I personally, it's my preference to have Derek Lively as the starting center on this team. I think he fits the best. I think he's the perfect mold for the type of guy that they drafted there at number 12. However, maybe it's Dwight Powell, maybe it's somebody else that I haven't mentioned that is the starting center. Apparently, it's more likely than not that he will not be the starting center. But, if it was up to me, obviously, very, very qualified NBA coach here, Derek Lively would be starting. And then Josh Green at the 3, I think, he brings the defense. That lineup is not getting a lot of defense from your guard spots. So everywhere else having to be elite defenders is a necessity. And then coming off the bench, you have Seth Curry. They don't really have a true backup point guard, unless you're talking about like a Dante Exum. We'll see how that works out. He can play defense though. But they got Seth Curry, 40% three-point shooter. Also bringing in Derek Jones Jr. He's going to be another guy coming off this bench at the small forward spot. But you look all around this lineup, and it's just guys that can knock it down from three, 40% plus. Tim Hardaway Jr. at 39, Hardy at 41, Seth at like 41, 42, Grant Williams at 40, Josh Green at 40. So, I mean, guys that can really shoot the 3 ball and play defense. Derek Jones Jr., another guy that fits that mold. And I think this is perfect for the Dallas Mavericks because that's just what they had to do this offseason was go out and literally get as many 3-and-D wings as you possibly can to surround Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, and they will make it work. And that's why I'm very high on the Dallas Mavericks next year. So with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like button and hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy today's video at any point. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.